morning, everyone. Happy Monday. We made it to the weekend. That's funny. We made it through the weekend. It's supposed to be more like we made it through the week. Oh, I forgot to put my stickers on my car. Shoot. Good thing that Highway Patrol was there to remind me of all the bad things that I'm doing on the road. Anyway, yeah, I hope you guys had a great weekend. So today I'm going to talk about actions, reactions, and consequences. Just to, have a better understanding as to what they are and how they work and what's actually happening. Because I'm sure you've heard someone at some point, if you haven't said it yourself, turn some air on in here, that people who take an action and they have something, and someone decides to do something in return, they'll call it karma, or they're like, oh, well, those are the consequences of your actions. So, like, let's say someone does something, and you get angry, and you want to do something back to them, and you say, well, karma's a B, or well, that's what you get, or, those are the consequences, for your actions. There's something that needs to be understood when this is happening, because you damage yourself when you engage in any type of retaliation. And retaliation is basically any action that is in response to an action that is meant to cause harm. So any action that is taken to cause someone harm is an unloving thing to do. But when you react and take an action, that is also an unloving thing to do. And some people will call it karma. Some people will say that it's the consequence or whatever. But understand that every action has a consequence. And whatever people call a reaction is an action. It is not a reaction, it is an action. There's cause and effect, yes. There's cause, meaning the person who did the unloving thing to cause harm, and then there's a feeling of being the recipient of that unloving action. That is cause and effect. When you decide to retaliate or return the unloving action or return an action that will cause pain, that is also an action in and of itself. It is not a reaction. It is simply an action. And the thing is, every action has a consequence. It's not every action has a consequence and a reaction doesn't. And these are the mind tricks that we use and play in and play with, and I don't know, we do it, and we need to stop, because we cause ourselves, or we call more karma to ourselves when we do that, because every time you take an unloving action, your soul darkens, meaning your soul degrades in love. And this is what causes what you call accidents, which is the true karma, which is the true consequence of your actions. See, karma is not delivered by a person with intent. Karma is delivered unexpectedly. You never know it's coming. You never know it's coming. But when it comes, the lesson is wrapped up nicely in that event, whatever it is. And sometimes we as human beings, try to be the judge. And we try to, what word am I looking for? The car is walking on the side today. Not a lot, but what a Monday morning. See, that car that you saw sitting there on the side with the tires on, that's a karmic experience. That is a karmic experience. No one was involved in that, but they're feeling the sting of it. No one was involved, but they're feeling the sting of it. That's karma at play. Actually, I don't even need my hair on. It's cool enough outside, but let me turn this on. People are flying this morning. I guess I gotta get to work. Yeah. So it's something we really need to be mindful of, because if you really want to be a loving person, you're going to have to get on board with what the laws are, and you're going to have to abide by these laws. And the thing is, like, I don't really see them as laws anymore. I just see them as just a way to have a more loving experience, a more joyful experience, a more happy experience, a more peaceful experience. In the beginning, they were, I understood them as laws, and I understand that they are laws, meaning they are set. And if you go against them or you work outside of that law, then there will be a consequence. But if you understand why they're in place, you won't see them as a bad thing. You won't see them as laws and rules as man has made them to be, because they're not the same thing. God's laws are not man's laws. They're completely different. And they're made in a different energy. They are made in a different energy. See, man's laws are not made to generate love. They're not made to generate harmony. They're made to restrict. They're not made to make a person better. They're made to stop people from doing things. It's always to stop, to stop, to stop, to stop. Either prevent or punish, but they're not made in love. And that's why they're different. That's why they are different. Because God's laws are made in a way where they were intended to bring the soul back into harmony with love, so that the soul can live in love and be love. That's it. That's like the only purpose. The consequences are also there to, like, whatever pain that we feel, they're there to bring us back into alignment. But man's laws don't work that way. Man's laws will, the verdict, that's the word I was looking for earlier. They want to deliver a verdict and just, cause you pain or lock you up so they don't have to deal with you. Like, there's no love in that. Like, there's no rehabilitation. I mean, those things come from people like, calling for it. Like, they're saying, hey, it's people need to be rehabilitated. Like, there's programs and people who want to fight for that. But that's not what man's laws are really designed to do. So we have to understand, I guess we have to choose which ones are we willing to live by. Are we willing to live by, or do we desire to live by man's laws, or are we willing to live by the universal laws? Because here's the thing, the universal laws are always at play. Whether you are abiding by man's laws or not, the universal laws are always in play. So if you abide by the higher law, the universal law, you'll never have to be involved with man's laws. That's fact. If you are a loving individual and you have love within your soul, not only will you not engage in unloving things, but you won't even get caught up in unloving things. Like, nobody will ever come to you and say you murdered somebody. That can't even happen, because the universal law protects you. I mean, there's universal laws that protect you. If you are living in harmony with love, they protect you. If you're not, they can't protect you. So if you want the protection of the Creator, if you want the protection of love, then you're going to have to abide by the universal laws, the loving laws, because all universal laws are loving laws. But if you don't, if you want to sell drugs and hurt someone, of course you're going to have to deal with man's laws, because man's laws are corrupt. So a corrupt person it makes sense that a corrupt person would have to deal with a corrupt set of laws. Where else are you going to get your penalty from? Corrupt people, unloving people. You cannot get an unloving experience from a loving person, because a loving person can only give out one thing, and that's a loving experience. This is why it's so important to understand how the laws work, why they're in place, what the laws are. So back to the consequencing, when we take an action, it's this is why, like, in the Bible, and I'm not a Bible thumper, you guys know that, I don't even read the darn thing, but there's certain parts that I do know about. And the whole, if someone slaps you in the face or the cheek, or in the face, you turn your cheek for the other one to be slapped. Like, that doesn't mean just get beat up. That's not what that means. It means if someone has unloving intent or takes unloving actions towards you, that's when you need to walk away. because that lets you know who that person is, what that person is about. They've already given you everything you need to know to make a decision. The only reason why you fight, the only reason why you stay in a situation like that is because, one, you don't know your value, you don't know what you're doing, and your soul is also as degraded as theirs. Because a loving person would not want to fight back. They would leave. They were like, no, I don't want to experience this. This is not what I'm about. Now, they may experience pain. Now, the obligation that they have to themselves is to release the pain, but that doesn't mean that they have to fight. And so it's better to have the pain and release it than it is to have the pain, suppress the pain, have anger, and truly darken your soul even further than what it would have been if you just had the pain to deal with. Because when we start adding anger into the mix, it's much more difficult to find. It is much more difficult to find. And this is how most people operate in the world right now. They have a lot of anger. And so they want to say F you and F Trump and F Obama and F this and F that and you cracker this and you nigger that. Like, these are all angry things, but these shouts of anger are coming from one thing and one thing only: suppressed pain. And here's the thing, like, most people who say certain things, they don't even mean it, but it's what they know. They know that this is what hurts. And so here's the thing, you have to understand, anyone who is willing to shout words or throw a fist or any object for that matter, anyone who's willing to do that is trying to cause pain. But that's only because they are in pain themselves. And this is what we have to come to understand. When we're looking at people, when we're dealing with people, when we're just in general, just to know exactly why people are doing the things that they're doing. Like, I see it all the time, left and right, on Facebook, and people don't even know whether it's the 2020 burners or the Trump supporters or whatever, Democrat, Republican, it's all the same. There's just a bunch of angry people who want to say mean things about other people because they're angry. And they're angry because they're in pain. And so they want to cause pain to someone else. It's all the same. And so when you learn what's going on, you have the ability, you have the opportunity to pull back. To pull back and say to yourself, I don't need to be involved in that, because that's not what I want to be. Look, if you don't want to be an angry person, you won't engage in angry things. That's the truth. You can't say you're a loving person and I want to be love and light and all these different things, but yet people are asshole bitches and whatevers. That doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. That's not even logical. But a degraded soul can only think in illogical ways. Because that's just the way the degraded soul works. They can't think logically because there's too many things within them that are painful, that don't make it. There's too many untruths in there. And any untruth is illogical. There's only truth is logical. Only truth is logical. You may be able to twist things and pull certain things to justify things, to say it makes sense and say it's logical. But anytime you justify an untruth, you don't have the full truth. You can't. Because if you had the full truth, you would know not to make the illogical choice. You would know not to justify. You would know that you couldn't justify the untruth. So, when we take an action, understand it's unloving. If someone responds, understand it's unloving. If someone takes an action towards you, whether they're words or someone's doing something, your response is also an action in and of itself. An action, not a reaction, it's an action. You are deciding, you are choosing to do something. That is an action. And every action has a consequence. And you will feel that, whether it's here or in the spirit world, but you will feel it at some point. And here's the thing. Even if you feel it here and you don't feel any remorse for what you've done, or you're not forgiving of yourself or the other person for what they've done, you will still feel it in the spirit world. Your soul is still degraded. That's the most important thing, is the condition of your soul. So if you're not willing to release it, whether it's the pain or the anger or whatever it is, the jealousy, the resentment, the envy, doesn't matter what it is. Anything that's unloving that dwells within your soul, you have to get rid of it. So every time you've ever reacted, ego rock. I thought that was, never mind. Sorry, I got distracted. Anytime, what was I saying? Lord Jesus. Anytime oh my gosh, Zachary. I was saying anytime I don't know what I was saying. Something about, I know I said what I said, I just don't know what I was going to say next. Anyway, so yeah, anytime so all the times that we have made these unloving decisions, these actions that we have taken, it degraded our soul. And that degradation is remaining within our soul. And when we pass, we feel all of it. See, we don't feel it right now because we have the ability to focus our attention elsewhere. We, here on earth, have the ability to focus our attention elsewhere. So, and what I mean by that is we forget all the crap that we've done. And we forget all the things that were done to us that cause pain. But the soul doesn't forget. It's stored in the soul. Our mind is what shifts its focus. So it can focus on drinking, it can focus on smoking, it can focus on sex, it can focus on work, it can focus on kids, family, friends, all kinds of activities. You want to go to Disneyland every day? That's fine. You can distract yourself with that. But the soul never forgets everything that you've done that's unloving and everything that was done to you that was unloving. It's in there. And the thing is, on this planet is so different than the spirit world. Look, I'm telling you, some of you already know, but some of you have no idea what is going to come when you pass. It's not a mystery. Death is not a mystery. We know we're all going to die. That we know. But it's the things that happen afterwards that we choose to ignore that are going to come for us. And they're not coming for us, but they're waiting for us, I should say. The experience is inevitable. We cannot outrun that because we cannot outrun our soul because we are the soul. So all things that are within our soul, we will have to feel at some point. I don't know if you're coming over here, but keep it together, keep it together forever and ever. I haven't heard that song in a long time. Anyway. Yeah. So, oh gosh. Be mindful of retaliation. Be mindful of telling someone off. If someone says something to you that upsets you, actually first, before it upsets you, it's going to hurt you. It's going to hurt you. But in that instance, like that, you will suppress it and anger will ensue. That's how quick it is. That's how quick you are in terms of denying the pain. That's how quick you are. I mean, how many times has someone said something to you and you just instantly get upset? You didn't even feel the pain. That's how quick you denied it. That's fast, people. That's really fast. And it's something everyone needs to be mindful of because we suppress it so fast, so quickly. This is why people say, I'm not in pain, because they're so quick to anger. Because you have become a master in suppressing your pain. People can say, even when I'm driving, if you guys haven't noticed already, I mean, it's quite obvious when I'm driving and I get irritated. because it just happens so fast. What's really painful is that I can't do what I want to do. I can't get to where I want to get to in the time that I want to get to it in. Look, all of that is it's a lack of freedom. Like, I don't feel free to do what I want. I'm always held back by people jumping in my way. Oh my God, it happened yesterday in Costco. I was like, Jesus Christ, this man. Like, he was an old man. He didn't know. And it was this one particular man. And you know, I don't know if you've ever been to a Costco, but, you know, people are just real stupid with their carts, and they just leave them all over the place, and they just stand there in the middle of the freaking aisle looking at something. Just no idea or clue that other people are around them. And so it was hard to maneuver, and I couldn't get past this one guy because this one guy was walking down the aisle, and he was just so slow, just looking back and forth, not having any clue that I was behind him, and I couldn't go around him because there were carts all over the place. And so I was like, okay, Zach, just relax, because you can't go anywhere else. You can't go any faster, so you just calm it down, right? That's basically what I did. So I finally got to the place I wanted to get to, which was like the produce area. Got my little raspberries, and guess who? He didn't even go that direction. So I'm leaving, and I'm going to the other side of the store to get some laundry detergent and all that. And guess who was right there? I was like, oh, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? I was like, Zachary, what the fuck is going on? I was like, what's going on? Now, I know I lack patience. That's one thing I know I need to work on, is patience. But, oh my God, is that? Oh, those are airplanes. I was like, it's too light to see the dipper. So, anyway, how did I get on that? Oh, anyway, yeah, I was getting quick to anger, but what was really bothering me was the fact that I couldn't just go and do what I wanted to do freely. I was being held back. I was being prevented from doing what I wanted to do. There's other things I needed to do in that day, and so I just wanted to get in and get out. And that's one thing about Costco, is you can't even get in. Sometimes you can get in and get out. But actually, it wasn't that bad, to tell you the truth, because as I was walking to check out, this, I guess it's like a person kind of stands there, and they said, sir, there's no waiting on 16. So I went over to 16. Fucker. So there was no waiting. So, I mean, it really wasn't that bad. I mean, and maybe that was the consequence for me calming it down and understanding, because I did say to myself, this person's old. He's moving slow because he's elderly. And I also said, at some point, I may be like that. And, I knew he didn't know I was behind him. Like, the man didn't know. He didn't know anything. He didn't know anything other than what he was looking at. And so I had to be mindful of that, and I was. And that's why I calmed it down, because I was looking at the truth of what was in front of me. And so, if I can tie that in, if you can understand why someone is doing something unloving to you, understand why it's happening. First and foremost, it's your soul calling for it. There's something within my soul that called him to me. There's some certain understandings and compassions that I needed to be reminded of. There's something within me that's not compassionate, that's not completely understanding, and I have to think about it for a while. And there's also some things that are within me that I'm angry about in terms of freedom. And if you've heard any of my previous videos, you know I really didn't have that. Like, I was completely shut down my entire childhood. And that angered me, that frustrated me. At first, it was painful that I couldn't do the things that I wanted to do. I was always held back. And so those emotional injuries still dwell within me, which caused that man to be in my life yesterday. And it's going to continue to happen until I release it. Until I release those painful things or the painful emotions and feelings. Look, you wanted to swoop by me at 100 miles an hour, and now you can't even stay within the lanes. Oh, they finished that building. Oh, it's a nice building. You know, it was office space. What is it? 701. I I'm going to, I don't know if I want to, I think I will. I'll take I don't know, that Figueroa is really tricky. It's telling me to go to Grand. Grand is the 101, which I can see crawling up there. So I'm just going to take this. Look at this temple. I don't know what this is. I think it's temple. Temple. Is it temple? No. I don't know what the street is. Boundary, I think. So, yeah. But anyway, if you're looking to, if you really, I don't know why you're listening to these videos if you're listening to them. Everyone has different reasons for the things that they do. Some people like hearing things because it sounds good. Some people like hearing it because they want to change. Oh, what are you? So, like I said, I don't know why people listen to these types of videos. I personally listen to these videos or videos like mine because I'm looking to understand and change, and I have in more ways than I could have ever imagined. And my life experience has changed. The level of stress has there's really, I don't stress. I don't know how to explain it, but my I don't stress over things that people do. Like, I don't have those stressors anymore. Maybe here and there if I'm triggered by something that's within my soul, but for the most part, I don't have stress in terms of dealing with people. I don't depend on anybody to do anything, so I'm never, relying on someone to do something and then they don't, and then stress out because it didn't get done. Like, I know I'm accountable for my own life, and I know I'm responsible for generating whatever I need for myself. Like, because nobody else can generate for me. I have to be able to generate for myself. This is why it's, when I talk about homeless people, it's not good to just give them things. I mean, if you're going to help them. Don't help them stay where they're at. Because every time you give someone, money or whatever, you're helping them stay where they're at. And like, there's nothing being done to ask them, hey, how did you get here? What needs to be done for you to get out of this? Do you even want help? And the thing is, when people are, not struggling and suffering, because suffering here or being out on the street and not having a place to stay is different than Ethiopia or any other place, third world country, where they don't have anything. I don't know you people. I ain't dealing with you. See, this is why the other day I was like, I wasn't sure why that Prius couldn't just go between that bus, because it doesn't make any sense when they have more than enough room. These buses, this should be illegal for these buses to be sitting here like that. So, yeah, anyway, the being on the streets here is different than being, homeless or whatever, in a third world country, because here there's opportunity. There isn't opportunity much in third world countries, which is why it's a third world country. But there's opportunity here. Like, there's so many stories. I mean, even our clients, like, perfect example. We have clients who are homeless. That's who we work with, and we say, hey, like, we have a team that goes out on the street and they find homeless people on the street and they say, hey, my name is so-and-so. I work for this program. How long have you been out here? We can offer you help. We can offer you housing. We can offer you, We can get you, they say we can get you some clothes, we can get you a place to stay, we can get you some money. We can do all these things. There's always an opportunity here. But in third world countries, there really aren't. And that's the difference. So when we give money and just give food, we keep them in that place. And the thing is, that is not a loving place to be, because that means they have given up on themselves. And so what we do is we support them giving up on themselves. That's what we do. I brought this superfood protein shake thingamajig. Hold on a second. Yuck. Ugh. That's so awful. Ooh, Lord. I'm gonna have to put some honey or something in that. I didn't even bring any water to wash that stuff away. Gosh, that's awful. So I ordered these superfoods. I think I ordered 6 of them. They have different names. Like one of them's called superfood. One of them's called muscle powder superfood. One of them's beauty something. The other one's whatever. And obviously they're all supposed to be different superfoods. But I mixed them all because I don't. I can't just be doing that all day long. Ooh, what an asshole! This person just created a third lane and hopped over everybody else. Look at these people behind me as their trip. Anyway, I can't be doing all that all day long. So I just put them all together with some vanilla soy milk. Ugh. But that superfood stuff is strong. Woo! Oh, I forgot to put my what is it? Lactin? Carotene? Lactine? I don't know what the hell that thing is called. G-lactin, L-lactin, I don't know. I can't remember what it's called. Glutamine, L-glutamine, that's what it is. I forgot to put that in there. Anyway, so, yeah. The reason why, all that, I say in these videos, it's so that you understand what's going on with your soul. Why things are going the way that they're going. And most importantly, how to change your life, change your soul condition so you have a different experience. Like, we can use our willpower all we want to. Okay. We can use our willpower all we want to make changes. But those changes cannot be sustained. They cannot be everlasting. In order for anything to be everlasting, it must be, whatever change you are making must be on a soul level. Because once it's made, once the change is made on the soul level, the universe responds to that. Because the law is, the universe will respond to your soul to bring you experiences. Not the experiences you create, but the experiences that just happen. Like when a person just walks up to you and says, hey, do you want this? Or hey, do you want that? Or hey, here's an opportunity. Ooh, it's foggy. Foggy. See, it's always clear in the valley where I am. Always clear for the most part. It's rare that it's foggy. But here in the city, the marine layer just comes in and makes it gloomy. It'll burn off though. Anyway, excuse me, I was yawning. Your soul is what sustains your life experience. So as you increase the love in your soul and you decrease the unloving things within your soul, you have a different experience. ones that you prefer. So if you don't want to be bullied by people anymore, then stop the anger and release the emotional injuries that are within you. Like, I've released some of the emotional injuries that are with me. Not a lot, not all of them. I mean, come on. I have generations of crap that are within me. And the thing is, some people look at that and they're like, that's too much. It's overwhelming. Well, look at it this way. It has to be released. So you might as well start on it now, because whatever your soul condition is in this moment, if you were to pass right now and you didn't have all of these graces anymore, because all this that we're experiencing is what you would call God's grace. So we wouldn't have all this, and we would be feeling all of what we have within our soul 100% when we pass. This is what people feel. This is what people feel. Pain. And depending on how dark your soul is going to dictate the level of pain, the intensity of pain you feel. And if you've ever listened to any of the channelings that I've posted, you just listen to the people. That's why I put them up there. That's why I put these channelings of people, of these spirits who are, talking about their life experience in the spirit world, so that you have an idea as to what they were doing and what they're feeling now. That's why I put it there, so you can see it. I've already seen it. Like, I see it, and I'm like, whoa. Like, I've done some of those things. I need to stop doing those things. Those things have happened to me. I need to let those things go. I'm looking at evidence. This is scientific. It's not something you just, you just have faith in. No. The blind faith is ridiculous. There's no need for blind faith. You only have blind faith when you don't have the foundation, when you don't have the facts. But the fact is, you are going to end up in the spirit world. We all are. And the fact is, the experience that we're going to have is going to be dependent upon our soul condition. These are facts. So you have faith in that. That's part of the system. Have faith in what you know exists. There's this blind faith. I don't know. I mean, I get it. But it's going to send you down a path that is going to make you even more darker, because you don't understand you don't have faith in the system, and you don't have faith in universal laws. You don't have faith in how your soul is going to be affected. Like, you need to have faith in these things. You need to believe in these things, because these things are real. And no, I'm not saying you have to because you have to, but if it would be in your best interest, if you have your best interest at heart, then you would pay attention. You would try to learn. You would try to understand. But if not, you'll just continue living life like la-di-da, la-di-da. Nothing's happening. Nothing happened so far when I stole this, or when I got, those 5 women pregnant and just left those children, and they don't know that I'm the father. Like, no big deal. I got away scot-free. I have my job. I'm not paying child support. Like, if that's one of your things, trust me, you're going to pay for all of that. Because you have entered, if you have a child, that means you have agreed to take care of God's child, because God's children are the soul. You look at the body and say, oh, that's my baby. Fine, that's what you want to say. But the truth is, it's God's soul that's in that body. And if you help create a body for that, because that's what the human being did, was help create the body, help create the vessel for the soul. So you took part in this. You have made an agreement, and you didn't even know what the agreement was. It's like you accepting something from someone, and this is exactly how it is. You know how you download an app or a program, or and it says accept terms, or you get a credit card that says, okay, you accept the terms and the agreements and all that stuff, and you click yes, and they're like, okay, submit, and then you get the credit card, and then you're like, oh yeah, but there's responsibilities attached to that. Like, what you really asked for was money. You asked for someone else's money, but you also agreed to interest being put on that. So when you get into, in over your head, and you're like, well, why are you charging me this, and with the late fee that, and all these other hidden fees? It's because you agreed to something you didn't fully understand. And it's the same thing with having a child. If you're having sex and you have a baby, you have agreed to something, but you don't know what the agreement is, because you didn't care about that. All you wanted was a credit card. All you wanted was the baby. All you wanted was the sex. That's all you wanted. And you could care less about the agreement for getting those things. And this is what I'm saying. We have to be aware of everything that we're doing. And we're not. People are living their lives completely clueless as to what's going on. Clueless. And if you told them, they still wouldn't get it. How many times have... I don't know how many times I've... I don't know how many times I've told people truth. And they're like, yeah, but I don't know. It just, it's a sad state, but in a way it's like comical because it doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense, but it makes perfect sense. Like, I understand why a person doesn't get it. I understand why a person wants to refuse it. I understand all of that. All of it makes sense to me, but it doesn't make any sense to me. It doesn't make any sense because it's there to be had. If people wanted it, they could hold it. And most people are told truths all the time. Well, you're being mean. No, I'm not. They were just told they were being mean. They were just told they were being mean. They're like, no, I'm not. They were told the truth. If someone says, hey, you don't care about your kids. Man, I care about my kids. But if you're not doing it, if you're not with your kids, if you're not showing them love, if you're not showing them affection, then no, you don't care. If you're not in their life, you don't care. And sending them some $20, $30, $100, $1,000, $5,000 a month, whatever your income bracket is that would allow you to send whatever you can, that doesn't matter. Money doesn't matter. There's no money in the spirit world. So the only way to show love is to feel love for that being. To send it out there. To show them, hey, I do. And the thing is, in the spirit world, love is seen differently. It's seen, actually physically seen with the eyes. You can stand across the room, if you're in a room, or across the way, or across the land, across the dimensions. You could be in a completely different dimension and have a feeling of love for that person. And this pinkish light will come out of your spirit body, and it will reach out to that other person. The love that you have can be seen. It's light. There's things that are beyond this world that we're in right now that are happening. And the thing is, that light, it happens now while we're here in the physical. But we can't see that energy yet. But some people can, I guess. But most people can't see it. Because they have their physical eyes. And they haven't tuned those eyes, those physical eyes, to see that energy that is present anytime we truly have love. Or they're not able to see the darkness that comes out from the spirit body into the other person's spirit body when we're not being loving. The thing is, this is what I'm saying, like, there's things that are happening all over the place. These are truths, these are facts. You can't change them, because all of God's truths are absolute. They cannot be altered or changed. All we can do is interact with them. That's it. We interact with different laws depending on the state that we're in. That's all we can do. We didn't create this universe. We are subjected to the universe. So we better find out how it works, and find out how it works quickly, because the faster we find out how it all works, the faster we stop damaging ourselves, and the faster we stop damaging others. And we start having more love within our soul, and we allow other people to create love within their soul. Because someone who isn't experiencing pain all the time has an opportunity to develop love within them, because they're not so busy with the pain. They're not so busy with the anger. And so they have that opportunity to build. This is why it's important. Listen, this is why it's important, if you're on this journey to be more loving, or to increase your soul condition, you have to get yourself away from the things that cause you to be sad, the things that are causing you pain, the things that are causing you anger. And here's the thing, remove yourself as much as you can. You cannot escape the law of attraction. So you remove yourself from those people who are unloving, and try to develop yourself in a more loving way, And when someone comes into your path and they're unloving, understand that is a law of attraction event to remind you that that pain is still there. I have removed myself from people who are unloving. The universe has also removed people away from me who are unloving. But every now and again, the universe will deliver someone to me as a reminder. And that's really important to understand, because that is the grace that we have here. Whereas if I passed in this moment, I would be by those who would cause me pain, if that pain is within my soul. This is why it's so important to learn it now while we can, because we have the opportunity to not be affected all the time, whereas when we pass, we don't have that grace anymore. We had that opportunity here, and if we squandered it, then we squandered it. My advice to you is don't squander it. Use it. Use this time to improve yourself. Use this advantage. This is an advantage that we have here. Use the advantage. We have it, so use it. Why throw it away? Why throw it away? It's like a coupon. Someone that gives you a coupon, you can use it or not use it. It would be in your best interest to use it. You'll save yourself some money. Meaning you'll have more money left. So when someone gives you something, use it. Use it. The Creator has given you so many signs. The Creator has given us so many signs. All of us. Every day we get some kind of sign to say, hey, look, this is what's going on. Hey, look, if you're irritated, agitated, angry, annoyed, sad, it doesn't matter what it is. Those are all signs to let you know what dwells within your soul. Most people will look at it and say, those people are doing this to me. Those people are causing me sadness. Those people are causing me pain. Those people make me so mad. No. Those people are showing you what's within your soul. That's the way the system is set up. And if you know that that's how it's set up, then you know how to respond to it. By absorbing what the lesson is. By trying to see what message is being sent to you. That's it. That's it. All right, everybody. It sure is foggy. Have a wonderful Monday. And I have another topic for tomorrow. So I think I'll make a video tomorrow. If I can remember. I think I know what it is. All right, so take care, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye now.